Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? All right, happy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well. I think most everybody got their projects in. Let me do one last check here. We're going to go over project 1 first, and then we'll look at actually working with that database that we set up last week in PHP. Let me pull this down here. See what we got. Hope you got your coffee. My second pot of the day is brewing, so I will take a break shortly and go get it. Probably after we finish project 1, and then we can go from there. How's that sound? All right. Oh, I'm just curious. I know you guys are all, we're pandemic learning and whatever nonsense, but as we're working on the annual schedule, you didn't do that one with the project snake, or you didn't make coffee yet? As we're looking at the annual schedule, I got 20 submissions. That's out of 24. That's, getting close. I think 23. You didn't do project 1. Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, we the next project will be worth more. So, like, if you lose 10 points here, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry too much. But we can go from there. All right, so this is our bad assumptions retirement projections page, and we're going to try and build this out. So let's see if I can start up a project. Call this one project 1. Sure, or bad assumptions or retirement, whatever you want to call it. Not a big deal. I still haven't figured this metadata thing out yet, so don't worry about it. I'll get to that eventually. You need to tell it it's running on 50,080, because that's the port I'm using on my computer. If it works on 80 on yours, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. So we needed a couple things here, right, in our body. So we didn't actually need any PHP code here. We just needed a form. That's all we were going to need here. And then we're going to have the retirement calculator page on the other side go and do all the calculations. So I'm just, this is how I am. I don't want to have to type a bunch of stuff by hand. So I've got our other examples out here in CIS 2454. I think I put the rest of our examples out here. Put our PHP projects. Yeah, I copied them out here. So I'm just going to copy the form off of one of these ones and then edit a couple variables because I don't want to have to do the rest. That was our index page, right? So we got a couple forms here. So sure. Let's take... That one's probably fine. Not too big of a deal here. And I'll paste it in here. The top of the window's not showing? I think it is for NetBeans right now. It looks okay on my side. I don't know if it's something you're seeing on Twitch, or like in my preview, I can see the top of the page. Retirement projections. And we'll send this to retirement.php. Sure, why not? The index could just be an HTML. Yep, this one does not have to be a PHP file if it's just an index page with nothing else on it. Yep. Later on, or one of the things we talked about in like chapter 2, I think, was you can include pieces of PHP files in other PHP files. You could just like wholesale include the entire thing. And one of the common things we do with that is we'll include like a navigation menu. So we've got a single PHP snippet that's the navigation menu, and we can just include that in all of the pages. I think we'll get more into that when we do the JSP stuff. It's more of that the composition of pages. So that might be a reason why you might want to keep it as a PHP type. But for this one, yeah, it could just be plain HTML. Not a big deal. So we wanted current age, and might as well call it current age. Why not? Current age, and then a desired retirement age, and desired retirement age. Right, why not? We're just going to keep on going with this. And that's a submit, and I don't know, projections, I don't know, estimate, CD, estimate. I don't know. We can come up with something better later. We're going to need a couple other labels and inputs, right? So we needed the current savings balance. This was current savings. And then we needed the current investment balance. Again, investments was just a investments balance, sure, probably an S. Investments balance, current investments. And then we're going to have additional savings. So additional savings, or yearly savings. Additional yearly savings and additional investments. Sure, that's probably the right term. This is additional savings and additional yearly investments. There we go. Additional investments. We'll put yearly in here. Why not? Yearly. Doesn't hurt to do that, right? And then yearly. Okay. Yearly. Cool. Okay. So all of this is going to head to that retirement PHP page. We need to add a retirement PHP page. So add a new. Is that new? Yeah. Okay. PHP page. There we go. This is retirement PHP. Awesome. Cool. We got a bunch of stuff in here. We'll put some code in here eventually. Like H1 retirement calculations. Okay. And I don't actually want this to post. I want it to get. The reason I prefer get is I can refresh the page very easily. A hat. Oh, you got me. Let's see. Let's try this one. It's not the same hat, but it might do for now, just because it's entertaining. Take some of that off here. Yeah, this is my daughter's shoebox that I'm saving for who knows why. Uthrov, you got it. You got the hat. And hydration. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my coffee in a minute, but I think I've got one of these. All right. At some point in the next month, actually, I believe the dean is going to try and pop in and do my. It's my second pot. I have to go get it. My cup here is empty. See? Empty. Sad. So hopefully the dean will pop in the next month or so to do my new faculty review or something. I forget. There's a technical term for it. But she's going to come and sit in on a class and see how I do. So when she does, be kind, but I'll still honor your silly hats and whatever, because how funny would that be? All right, hydration, thank you. So we got a retirement page. Right, it's going to come over here. We'll call it retirement calculations. Or H1. Cool. We haven't got any of the data out yet. We'll do that in a minute. Right, I just want to make sure that I can launch this page and get to the other one. And again, I'm going to change this to Firefox because I hate IE. Let's see if we can see a page with a bunch of buttons, a bunch of places to enter text, and head to the next page. Okay, again, it doesn't look pretty. That's okay. It doesn't have to look pretty. And see estimate should take me to calculations. Perfect. All right, we're feeling good so far. And again, I like the get here because, again, usually gets, we're not saving any data. It's just we're giving it some data to get something back out. So I think a get is appropriate for something like this. And then I can just refresh the page and I don't get that annoying warning about, hey, you're going to resubmit data to the form with posts. So we should be okay. All right, and then again, I'm going to come back here and copy paste a bunch of things because I don't want to have to do it again. We'll get some data out, right? How we can get some data out of our stuff. So ours is a get page here, but that's okay. So we can change that in a minute. And we typically do this at the top just to keep things organized. And this is a get, dollar under get, and dollar under get. But we probably should validate, right? Because we should do some sort of validation on it here. I don't think we did any of the validation on this one. Did we do it on our loops? Yes, here we go. So the filter input, there we go. That's much better. Feeling better about that. So we have current age is from my input get, it is current age, and it's an int. And eventually I need to end my PHP, right? Dollar. End the PHP tag. Okay. That way it'll stop being all red and irritating at me. Does it fit that way? Maybe that's a little bit better. So it squeezes. So desired retirement age is this thing again with desired retirement age. Okay, and it's a little bit long on my screen, but I'm kind of zoomed in a little bit, so don't worry too much about it here. They'll have a current savings, and I'm expecting those to be whole numbers. They might be filter, validate. They might be floats. All right, so we'll do floats just in case. Like they said, hey, I have $5.2 in my savings account or something. Okay, and then current investments. And here, I'm just going to come back and find these here. So current savings, copy paste. And current investments. Okay, and then we're going to have additional savings and investments. There's additional, or yearly saving, I don't know, we'll call it yearly savings and yearly investments. Okay, additional yearly savings and additional yearly investments. Okay, so we got all that, got all the information out, and for fun, I just want to see if I can make it work here, right? Just want to see if I can put this in. So I'm going to echo a current balance, and that was $current balance, current savings. Right, and maybe this would be, I don't know, we'll put all these somewhere in here. Maybe we got them all in their own paragraph or something. I don't think they need to be on their own paragraph, do they? Maybe we'll just do some breaks. So I'll have current age, no, current age, right? Oh, okay, we could do it in a single result too. Maybe that's better. Sure, put them all in their own spans. This doesn't matter. I just wanted to make sure, like, can we get some values back out? So I think, yeah, I'll do them like that. Current age. Age. Posture check. All right, you got it. You got it. Thank you. I'm getting sloppy here. Oh. What is this nonsense? Age and desired retirement age. Age. Desired retirement age. All right. You can remove the hat. You're too kind, Uthrav. Is this one not the one you had in mind? You wanted a different hat? Current savings. Current savings. Sure. Am I mixing up my variables? Yeah, sometimes I'm doing those and sometimes I'm doing them that way. I'm sorry. That's messy. Investments. Current investments. We just want to make sure we get this data back out, right? And then yearly savings and yearly investments. Yearly savings and yearly investments. Okay, there we go. Cool, let's give that a run. All right, so age, I'll say, hey, for age 20, we want to retire at 68. We've got $100 in the bank. We have $0 in investments, but we're going to save an additional $50 in each, right? Oh, undefined variable, current. Nothing called current. Oh yeah, that's right. Current age. There we go. Now I can just hit refresh and it should go. Nice. Okay, so I'm missing my breaks. We'll add in some line breaks here. Right, BRs are line breaks in HTML. And if I just save, I can hit refresh and I've got the page. Because it's this get, right? All this is in this query string. I can change any of these things if I want. Right, without having to go back to the form. That sort of thing, okay? Why is this class so long? like the length of the class. I never finished my question for you guys. I forgot. Yeah, as we're looking at the annual schedule, this has traditionally been an afternoon class, but I know that doesn't always work for everybody, so we're looking at moving it to evenings. So it seems like evening classes fit more people's schedules. If you're some sort of working adult taking classes, evenings are usually easier than afternoons. In the middle of the day, the 1 to 5 slot is really awkward. So thankfully we're remote and we can spend some time. I can change my hats, Crow. All right, you got it. Change hats. How about this one? This one that barely fits on my head. I could try it. Nope, doesn't quite fit. All right, I'll wear the sunbonnet for you guys. Oh, and Snake, you wanted the joke too. That's right. So I was out fishing with my buddies, and this was before the winter, when we could actually go out places, and before Corona, we'd go out. And one of my buddies smokes. And, sure, it's his own choice. I don't, but he can if he wants. But apparently he forgot to bring his lighter. So he was asking if anyone else had a lighter. I said, well, I don't smoke, but do you have a couple cigarettes? He said, yeah, I got a couple in my pack here. So I said, well, let me see one of them. So he hands me one, and I take it, and I just throw it overboard. I say, here you go, the boat's a cigarette lighter. He was not amused. I don't think he appreciates my humor. Okay, so this was just checking, can we get those values back out? We haven't done any of our calculations yet, so this isn't exactly what we want. We were just checking to see, hey, can we put this sort of stuff in here, right? That's okay. I just wanted to see, can we get the values back out? So now we need to do our arithmetic, right? The idea here, let's go back to our assignment definition, was we're going to assume we get 2% rate of return and an 8% rate of return on our investments. That's wrong, but it's okay. We're going to loop each year until they reach the desired retirement age and display the value of savings investments at each year. Display their total, and then display the future value, which is how much that money is worth today, assuming a 2% inflation rate. Okay, so it was our total savings divided by 1.02 to the power of years. Sure. So we need to calculate a couple things. So we'll have years until retirement is equal to my desired retirement age minus the current age. Right? So that'll tell me how many years I have until retirement. Keep forgetting my semicolons, sorry. Python's ruined me for semicolons. Right, and then we need a loop. Right? Or we're going to have some results, right? So we're going to have we'll just call it result. It's going to be an empty string to start. We're going to keep appending to this string. Again, it's not really the prettiest thing in the world, but it's going to get the job done, and we're not going to feel too bad about it here. We're going to say for int year is 0. Oops, nope, sorry. Year is 0. Year is less than years until retirement. Year plus. Right, we can do a loop. Right, we did loops last time with our little loop example. So we're going to keep on looping through. So what are we going to do? So for at age whatever, right, we'll say we've saved some additional money, and we can add it in here. So let's do that. Let's say we'll start at 1, and we'll go less than or equal to. So then we can say we'll take our savings balance, current savings, and we're going to add to it the yearly savings, right? And then we're going to take our current savings, and we're going to multiply it by 1.02, our fixed rate of return. We're going to do the same for our investments. So our current investments plus equals the yearly investments. And we can do this all in one line if you wanted to, right? There's nothing wrong, 1 line versus 2 lines. It's okay. Either one is okay. So I'm feeling bad about 2 lines now, and people are going to make fun of me. So let's set it to 1 instead. Sure, we'll do that. Force your order of operations. There we go. They're a 1-liner. Are you guys happier now? I can tell you're making fun of me. Or are you just laughing at the dad joke? So current savings plus yearly savings times 1.02. Current investments. So we're not doing the plus equals, we're assigning here, right? Just be careful which direction you're going, right? plus times 1.08. Right, again, 8%. I'm just being silly lazy. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have a little fun. And then we'll take our result string and we're going to append to it, right? With strings, when we're appending, it's the dot equals for notation, because who knows why. PHP wanted to be different, I guess. Okay. So we're going to take, hey, we'll say at age, and then I'm going to take their current age plus year. I think I can do that. Oh, no, I don't think I can. Not inside the interpolation. That's all right. So then we'll say age is current age plus the year. Okay. So at age, savings balance, dollar savings balance, current savings, investments, balance, $, and dollar current investments. Okay, and I think, so again, it's a little bit long, I'm sorry. I think we've got it there. Nope, what does it not like? Result. Oh, Snake, people are paying to take this class because it's a college course. That's the trick here. All right, so it doesn't like my results. Why doesn't it like that? Yeah. Let's see. What were we doing? What were we doing? Why doesn't it not like that? Oh, let's see. What do we do over here? Oh, were we not doing the interpolation? Oh, we also need our BRs, though, too. That's good. We also need the breaks. Oh, okay. You know, that's the funny thing. It's like, I don't actually know who all is a student. But that's okay. I think that adds to the fun. Okay, I guess we have to add them all in like this. That's obnoxious. I thought we could do the interpolation, but apparently not. Nope, that's the wrong place there. Investment balance, current investments, .br. Is that better? Still hates my... Oh, it's because I didn't have a semicolon there. I'm so dumb. I'm going to undo it all. That semicolon, that was sad. Undo it. Undo. Undo. Semicolon. There we go. There we go. BR. Okay. Now we can do it all in one line. Remember, the double quotes get you the interpolation, where it'll try and translate variables. Single quotes don't do that. So let's see if this works for us now then, and then we can spit out result. Oh, sure, why not? Projections. And we'll put out result here. I do. C# is actually my favorite language. C# is a lot of fun. All right, and let's see if we can run that. And if we just refresh our page here. Whoa, look at that. Neat. All right, so all these things were weird here, right? Because the current balance changed. So we probably actually want to get rid of all that. Or have, you know, save this as like the starting balance. You know, maybe we want to keep it here. And then we'll change the values here then. So we'll have this other variable duplicated here. Yeah, Java's a lot like C#. I just prefer the C# environment in Visual Studio itself. You know, the Java IDEs are okay, but Visual Studio is just a phenomenal tool. So maybe we have, you know, original or starting savings, maybe. Savings is the current savings. And a starting investments equals the current investments. There, and I can use these starting ones down here. So it's nice to like see what values they started with. here, right? I mean, there's a decent amount of differences between C++ and C#, but they're similar-ish. You just don't have to deal with pointers. That's my biggest complaint about C++. Let's see. Does that clean that up a little bit? All right. Close those ones. Say okay. There we go. So if we start at age 20, retire at age 60, we start with $100 and no investments, we add $50 each time. Oh, those are ugly. We should probably do some number formatting, right? So, I don't know, PHP number format. It's in the textbook somewhere, but this is probably faster. Is the first hit a good one? Number format, okay, all right. Number format, let's try it. So we want number, oh, it won't even do that, will it? That's a bummer. Number format. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this. That's okay. This is a pretty savings is number format, and we can call number format given the current savings. Current savings. I don't know why it keeps trying to do current in 2 decimal places. And they'll have a pretty investing is this thing with our current investments. Current investments. I don't think we can do it right inside this interpolation. So I think just doing it right here works. And we'll just sub in our pretty savings, our pretty investing. That's the downside with having to build it all inside of the loop up here. But that's okay. It's probably all right. We could do a loop inside of here and like have echoes in a loop. We could, but this is probably just as easy. Let's see. There we go. That looks a little prettier. Oh, and our projections needs a break too, right? After we say projections. Yar. Okay. How's that looking so far? You guys with me? Nope. Firefox. There we go. All right. So every year, balance. Again, I didn't ask you to say age. I think it helps track this sort of thing a little bit better here. Right? Cool. So now we need to total it and calculate for, adjust for inflation. Right, so then total balance is going to be, right, my current savings plus the current investments. Right, and then the future value, or whatever we wanted to call it, was going to be the total balance divided by 1.02 to the power of years until retirement. Right, and this should happen first because it's the next exponent, but just to be sure, we can always force order of operations in. Well, let's see. So it did say, let's see what the rubric says, actually. This one says display the value each year. Let's see. Loops. As additional investment balance. Display the value of saving investments each year. It's definitely worth 2 points there. For that, out of the rubric. Oh, you might be missing just a little bit there, lazy. Sorry. Okay, and then we want to display total balance and future balance. Okay, so total retirement balance is total. We probably don't need the BRs here, right? Yeah, you could echo in a loop, but you wouldn't do it up at the top section here. We could echo, and we could do a loop, like a for each loop inside, and echo a bunch of things from there. And that's actually what we're going to do when we look at doing database work. Okay, and the future your value. Assuming 2% inflation. And that was the future value. Okay, give that a save. I just come back and refresh. You get some more information. Total balance here. Oh, I forgot my dollar signs, my number formatting. These ones I can number format, right? Format. Yeah. Can't, but I can just do it this way. Number format. Can we do it right there? Number format. No, you didn't have to do the rounding. It irritates me that if it's not nice and pretty and clean. Total balance. Go. Why is that? Okay, it's unhappy with me. What did I do wrong here? Is that any happier? Okay. Append the two together with the number format. There we go. I just got to put the quotes in the right place. It's very particular. I'm sorry. Number format. Oh, we got to tell it 2 decimal places. Okay. I think that ought to do it. So we're just going to append in the number format in our echo. Okay. Let's give that a refresh. Hydration, thank you, my friend. Nice, now it looks a little prettier here. So, despite saving $17,000, it's really only worth $7,800 in today's prices. Or with today's purchasing power. Right? So, if milk costs 2% more every year, and you have $17,000 in 40 years, right, you're only going to be able to buy $7,800 worth of milk. That's the idea with inflation. Okay, how'd this go for you guys? I haven't had a chance to look at the submissions yet. Did it go well? I hope. Let's see. All right, here, let me actually put a Twitch poll here. Right, we can be interactive. So I'm going to say, how was project 1? Great. I got an A for sure. Just okay. Sure how I did. Okay, or terrible. All right, so give me a great. You got an A for sure. Oh, sir. I guess I ran out of letters there. Up in Twitch chat, it should be an option for you guys to pick. And let me know what you think. All right, let me know. Let me know what you think. I can close that. There we go. Okay, so let me know. Let's see what you guys think. All right, results are coming in. That's good. So if it was terrible, hopefully you had a chance to reach out to me and ask me what was going on. I'm definitely here to help you guys. The goal is not I throw something at you and I don't want to hear from you about the project ever again until you submit it. Right? I'm here to help you learn this stuff, and the projects are for your practice and to show that, yes, you've actually learned something. So if you get stuck on something, reach out, let me know. General questions are great to post in the class Discord channel, because then, just like we were in real class, everyone gets to hear the question and see the answer. Oh, I'm sorry, Snake. Yeah, the due dates will definitely sneak up on you, for sure. Yeah, so ideally we're doing always working on a project, sort of the goal there. So to always have something in the hopper as we keep on moving through this. So let me pull this back up here. Yeah, and then I'm always going to have a rubric for you guys. I didn't post it right away, I apologize, but it's going to come from the description. That'll say this is how you earn the points for it. You can always check the rubric and see, okay, if you got this part done, great, you get the point there. If you got that part done, you get the point. And that way, if you are in a crunch time and you run out of time, you can say, oh, well, that was only worth 1 point. I'm going to forget that and work on the thing that was worth more points, if that makes sense. At Noob Slayubi? Yeah, I teach a Python course as well. Python's a lot of fun. It's a good language. All right, let's see. Excuse me. Sorry, I was pulling up our schedule here. Python is Tuesday and Thursday, 3:30 to 4:45 or so. Here on Twitch, actually. Let's see. Take a peek at our schedule. Yep, so we have this project 1. We're going to talk about project 2 today after we talk about working with databases. 2 more weeks, another project. Did I not move that? Project 4, that needs to move, right? Because we don't want to have, we want project 4 to be servlets here, not, sorry. I'll update that. So 3 is not going to be, 4 will start this week. I'll go change that. Grab that here. Come on, folder. Come off the screen. Don't show everyone my documents. Let's see. I'll get that updated for you. Give me just a second. Nope. My computer's slow right now. It's unhappy. Nope. 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 I broke it. Okay, come on back. There we go. I think I found it. Man, we're on V3 now of this. Sorry, folks. Excuse me. V3. There we go. Hey, I just want to make sure I have that updated for you. We'll fix that. So yeah, ideally there's a project every 2 weeks. Until we hit the final project, we've got 4 weeks to do it. So let's scroll on down. I think I forgot to move that when we moved out the other due dates, right? You're mining altcoins during class. That's amazing. Oh man, I'm like a fanboy of Elon Musk, despite the guy being a mad genius, and I hear he's a real jerk to work for, but just a real interesting fellow. So I got interested in Dogecoin, and he tweeted about it a while back, and I thought that was pretty cool, and it's actually done relatively well for me. So you know, it turns out, you know, the fundamentals of economics still sort of apply. The more that people want something, the more the price goes up. Right? That's relatively straightforward. Go talk to your econ prof about the fundamentals. But even with a thing like cryptocurrency, which is really just nonsensical and it has no intrinsic value, the value only exists because people want it. Right? This is like Bitcoin is spiking in price because people want it, right? Which is really weird. Yeah, if you bought Dogecoin 6 years ago, you're going to be really happy because it's like 6.5, 7 cents a Dogecoin now instead of like a 10,000th or 1,000th of a penny. Something or I don't know how low it was, right? It was half a penny, 1/10 of a penny, something like that. Yeah, go check out your wallet. You might be happy. So yeah, so project 4 will be here. We'll just pretend winter break isn't there. So project 3 will be due on 3/18. Project 4 will be due on 4/1. And our final project will have the last couple weeks to work on. It's kind of the goal there. So we put that out there. I can update in D2L. We'll take version 3. Oh, I think I got to close it first, right? That'll look good now, I think. And we'll add that one here. Okay, so there's V3 of the syllabus. We got it. Oh, you don't have your login? That's horrible. I'm so sorry, Snake. Yeah, that's like the person who got locked out of, you know, whatever 100 Bitcoin that they had that's now worth, you know, some millions of dollars. Password managers are really your friend. I strongly recommend you get a decent password manager, which is much better. Much better. Okay, so we did project 1. Let me, I'll take the code here and copy it, because again, I'll figure out the GitHub thing later. I've just not spent enough time on it. I'm sorry. There's ways to do it. I know there are. I just don't know what the way is. So let's go find our stuff here in XAMPP. Let's find our htdocs folder. I'm just going to copy all of project 1, and let me go find 2454. I use Git in my other programming classes, so if you're not familiar with it, that's okay. Don't worry too much about it. Just going to drop it in, and we'll have the project. I don't know why that one changed. That should be fine. Oh, that was our source project we were trying to do. That's right. I don't know. So we'll focus project 1. See, it says saw a bunch of new stuff. Oh, that's PHP project 1. I copied the wrong thing. Folks, wrong thing. Wrong thing. htdocs. Project 1 is the right one. There we go. There we go. Project 1. Now we have project 1 index and project 1 retirement PHP with all the code. Again, don't worry about these other project files, but that way you can open it up right in NetBeans if you want to. But you're probably not cloning my repository. That's okay. So I'm going to commit and push. Yeah, Dogecoin's been fun just to follow in just an economics standpoint. I know there's a bunch of other altcoins too. I think Ethereum is doing well. Yeah, I don't know what makes them popular other than Elon Musk talking about them. So, yeah, GitHub's fantastic. I'm a big fan of GitHub. And it's free. So, go get yourself an account. All right, why don't we close this down? Why don't we take a break now? I'm going to go get some coffee. And we'll come back in about 10 minutes or so. Does that sound good? Let me figure out our break time here. So that would put us at about 1:57 p.m. or so. Oh, you guys can't see the break time. There we go. How's that? 1:57 p.m. All right, and I'll put some music back on for you. You guys like the heavy metal or alternative metal, whatever they call themselves? I've got a buddy who joined this band, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you know, I'm in a band now." I said, "Oh, that's cool. Do you have DMCA free music?" He said, "Yeah, our music's DMCA free, so I have official permission to use their music." I usually prefer the more electronic stuff, but this is okay. So some of these they're a little it's a little heavy, but that's okay. It's I forget. We'll try one and see how it goes. All right, we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
When I'm undone
All right, how you guys doing? All right, we just ended. Okay, we can close that one down. Yeah, apparently the screaming technique, you have to do it right or it ruins your vocal cords. I really believe that, but it's not the kind of thing I want to practice. So, all right, so we're moving on to database access. So accessing a database with our program. So in XAMPP, right, make sure we've got Apache and MySQL up and running. Okay, and then we can go from there. So let's start up a new project. Call this one database, I don't know, database program. That's not great, but that's okay. That'll work. Changing my port number. And we should be good to go. So a couple things we need to connect to a database. Right, I'll just take this stuff out here. We need some information. Right, so we need the PHP myadmin page here. So let's just go back to localhost. Here we go. I don't need just the main page here. All right, I got my coffee too, and I changed hats. I'm sorry. I hope that's okay. I guess I'll switch. I owed you that, but I got the other one out for next time, so I'm ready. Okay. Yeah, coffee's hot. Good stuff. Uh-oh. Wow, that's really zoomed. Sorry. Okay, so we want to check our databases. So when we connect to a particular database. Here we go. So like we made this test database. They were building our stocks in, right, to put some information about stocks and users and stock orders and that sort of thing. So if we take a look at our stock table, we see we've got GME and the current price and AMC and the current price, which we could probably go update if we wanted to, but we can do that later. It's okay. We'll build out our program so we can update these prices as well, which is lots of fun. All right, so we know we've got data here. So the database name is test. The table is stock. Okay, so all that's important information. And then we have users as well. So in our PHP code, we need a couple things. We need the data source name. And this is a particular pattern, right? So it's MySQL : and you know what? I am just going to go double check what that looks like because I can never remember. I always have to look at these. So MySQL : there we go. And then it's host equals. So ours is localhost because we're connecting to our local database. If you're connecting to a different database that's not local, you'd put in its name and address, that sort of thing. Localhost, and then semicolon. Now we have a DB name, and ours was test. So we're saying connect to the localhost database server on MySQL, find the database name test. Okay, and then we give it a username. And now I'm going to show you we can connect with root, but again, connecting with root is really bad. It's a bad idea, but just for now, right, and we didn't have a password on root. We set all that up, so we've got all that going. Oh, I lost chat. I forgot. Where'd you guys go? Nope. Wrong window. There's our window. All right, you guys are still with me? I forgot to slide this over to one side. There we go. Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness, what did I do wrong here? There's my viewer options. There we go. Now I got you. You're still here. Good. Thanks, Snake. Appreciate it. So we're not using a password for... Oh, no, actually we did. I set the password as test for my root account because we didn't want to leave it blank if we could help it. Remember, you can change that in the PHP myadmin page. Oh, that's in Firefox here. Right, if you come back to the home page, you can go find your users, user accounts, and that's where we set the password. Here, so I set it on all the root accounts here. So we could add another password or another user account, and we could get them specific access. And that's what we're going to do in a minute. I just want to show you with root to start, and then we'll go change the other one. Okay, so root password was test, and then what we do is we create a database connection. A lot of times we'll just call it like DB, and to do that we use this PDO class, PHP database object, I think is what it stands for, and we have to give it the data source name, we give it the username, and we give it the password. Now, anytime we're doing anything with databases, right, bad stuff could happen. So we're going to put all of this inside of a try block and catch any of that bad stuff. So any of that bad stuff is specifically a PDO exception type here. And then we could print out the message if we wanted. So we could have an error message, say error message is our exception. So we're catching an exception. Here's the exception. And we're going to use the error message out of it here. And then we can echo, because it's just in our body here, we can do a little PHP echo. I'll just echo out, sorry. I can echo a bad thing happened. Maybe another paragraph, sure, why not? Error message. And we can just put right in here the error message. And then end our paragraph. Okay, so if we have an error, we'll print out the message. Otherwise, we connected and things are good. We'll just leave it at that. So this should connect. So we're going to try this one here. And we shouldn't get the error page. So nothing errored. So let me show you, right? If I come over to XAMPP and I turn off my SQL, and I try and hit this page, now we get, here's the error message. No connection can be made. Right, so that way we can see what the error is. Now, I don't recommend you always give these right to your user, whoever hits your page, because you don't want to give them any information that they shouldn't have. But, you know, we need to know what the error is, and there's other ways of handling that. We're not quite that advanced at this moment, but just keep that in your back pocket. But you got to be careful with that practice. Okay, so it should be good. So we turn MySQL back on, and refresh. Okay, and the error goes away. So we successfully connected. Now that we have a connection, now we want to go do something. How to get to the database? Yeah, so it's we give it the data source name. So it's MySQL. Our host for our development work is always localhost. Most of the time in the real world, your web server is not also your database server. Right? Usually we try and keep those things separate. You know, I guess depending on how you want to structure things, but that's a whole other story. You can get in like web system admin and server admin, database admin, stuff for that. But for ours, it's just connecting to our local server. It's finding the test database. That's the DB name, database name here. Okay, so we got a connection. Now that we're connected, now we can do some fun stuff. Right, so we can send queries to the database. Now, I'm going to leave all of that inside the try block because bad stuff could happen when I do queries, and it will just catch the exception for me. Maybe we could start another try block. I don't know. I think it's all fine to put in one try block. So what I'm going to say, here's my query is, and I know I have a stocks table, right? So I want to select star from stocks. Okay, and then I have a statement, and that's my DB prepare. We're going to prepare our query statement. Excuse me. So it takes a couple steps, right? So the first one is build the query string, then prepare it, and then execute it. So then I have my statement execute. Okay, so we hook it up, we give the database the query, and then we tell it to run. Okay, and then I want to get some values back out. So what I get back out then is I want to have the results. So these are my stocks, right? There's going to be my statement. And I can say, I want to now fetch. You can fetch one row at a time, or you can fetch them all. I'm going to fetch all the rows because I think that's easier to work with. If you know you're only going to get one row out, you can just do one. But again, I'm just going to do all of them here. So let's fetch all the rows here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop. Okay, so we're still inside of our PHP code. We've got this stocks value here. Now we can start looping. And we can start echoing things out if we want. If you want to do this all up at the head of your document and then loop just inside, we can do that as well. But for now, we can just probably put it right in here. So we're going to use, excuse me. So if we wanted to put it like in a table, we could. Probably not a bad idea. Well, maybe we'll do that. So let's do this. Let's come down. Actually, move all of this up here. Move all the PHP stuff up here. I'm not a fan of putting the error message up there is bad, but that's okay. That's all right. It should be okay. So then in our body, we're going to start a table. Right, and inside of my table, now I want to do a PHP loop, and I can use this for each loop, which is really cool. So we're going to say for each value inside of something. So the first thing we can give it is a variable name for the particular value. right, I'm sorry, so stocks, so we give it our stocks list as, so each one is going to be called stock. We're going to say for each thing in stocks, we're going to call it stock. Let's do something, right? And then we give it this crazy syntax. So we're starting the loop here for each thing that I want inside of this loop, right? Oh, I'm missing in my code here. Sorry, no, yeah, okay. So you have the for each, and then we're going to say, okay, now I need a table row. And if you haven't done web stuff, that's okay. So you start a table, you put a row in a table, and then inside of the row, you put a bunch of data. So table data, and then / table data. So the particular elements inside the table. So I want to, in here now, I want to PHP echo my stock. And so stock is, right, a single row from the stock table, so I can get out. Just like we got out of our get data, we get stuff out by key, we can get stuff out by key here as well. So I'm going to say that is my stock dot, and what do we call it here? I'm trying to remember. It was in Firefox. Stock dot symbol. So we're going to use symbol. So we'll say stock key of symbol. That'll give me whatever the symbol is that was stored inside of the stock object. So the stocks is the list. So we said fetch all, right? So this will get me all of the data out of stocks. Right? Select star from stocks. Yeah, none of this database stuff will make sense, lazy. Sorry. Yeah, doing the database stuff first will make a lot of this make more sense. All right, so we could run this query ourselves, right? This query in PHP MyAdmin. We could come over here. It's this one, and we could. Oh, it's right here. Select star from stock. That's the query, and it gives us these results. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So we should get back all of those pieces of data. So we want the symbol, and then we want the price. HP, what do we call that? It was current price. Okay, so it's got to match. So we use current price. Current price. Okay, that's it. We're going to do that for every row. And then when that's done, now we're going to say PHP end for each. Okay, so we start the for each loop, going through stocks, looping one stock at a time. For every item that's in the stocks collection, right, it's a list of something, like an array of something kind of, we're going to get the instance out, and then each one of those has the items by key here. Let's give that a shot, see if we can find some stocks. Oh, null given. Uh-oh. Undefined variable stocks. Oh yeah, we messed something up, didn't we? Oh, test.stocks does not exist. There, okay, that was our SQL message. I wasn't seeing it. So we didn't find it from stocks. That's right. So we need to tell it, what does it not like? Test dot, we're missing a piece of information. Test stock. Huh. Interesting. From stock. And let's see if we can run this guy. Go. Yeah, select star from stock. Okay, so I didn't find it in test.stock. That's interesting. Why did it not find it? You broke it. Table test.stocks does not exist. Oh, the MySQL Workbench. Yeah, we were trying to just use the tools the book was showing us. There's lots of other ones, but this way it'll be closer to the examples. If you like other tools, they're fantastic. It should be good. Here, do I need to put it in single quotes? Let me try that. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't like. Okay, I didn't like the quotes there. Didn't think it would. Why is it so unhappy? That's okay. We'll figure it out. Couldn't find my query stocks. Table test stocks does not exist. Turn in the database. Is it called stock? Oh my goodness, thank you. That's the stock table. You're my hero. Yeah, thank you, Edgar. You get like 50 bonus points there for seeing that. Thank you. Unfortunately, bonus points aren't really worth anything, but you get them nonetheless. Yep, so it is particular. Yeah, you got to use the right name. Thank you. So again, this is not the prettiest thing in the world. Right? We're just putting some data on a screen. It's just a basic HTML table. But we're not, again, the goal of this class is not pretty. We're not a pretty web design, web development course. We're a, can we hook stuff up and talk to databases with PHP and JSP tech sort of thing. So that's going to be our focus. All right, we okay so far? So now we want to try and set it up with another user. Right, so we're going to go back and we're going to try and add a user that's not root, that does not have all the permissions. So let's add a new user. Here's your name. This is going to be stocks. I don't know. Sure. The password, we'll call it test, is probably fine again. Test is probably easy. And don't want a database. We don't want global privileges. So that should be fine. We want to give them specific permissions here. Oh, so we do want some data permissions, but not globally. We want to do that by database. Let's see. Don't save. So our username will be stocks. All right. Cool. And now we want to find database level permission. So we want to go to the database permission, to the test database. We want the test database. And we want to give them data permissions. We don't want to give them, so remember we talked about in SQL, you have your data definition language, which is creating tables, adding all those other things like the stuff about the structure of the data. And then you have the DML, the data manipulation language. That's the working, so that's the CRUD stuff. Create, read, update, delete, or select, insert, update, delete. CUD doesn't sound as good as CRUD. Right, so we want to give them data permissions here to the test database. And you can do this all by hand, but we have a tool, so why not use the tool? I'm a big fan of tools. Okay, so now stocks should be able to log in and have access to those tables. So we're going to come back here, we're going to change our username then to stocks. Password was still test, and let's see if it works. Yes, it still works, which is good. So now we're not running our program as the root user, which could do anything and everything to the database, which is good. Right? We don't want that sort of thing to happen. Okay? Excuse me. You guys okay so far? All right, so now let's, for fun here, let's see if we can do this sort of thing where we have a lookup. Okay, so we're going to add some fields here and see if we can get something just by a particular stock. Right, so let's put, I don't know, H1 is my stock list. H1. And we'll do all that, and then we'll come on down. Oh, we got to. Oh, I didn't even end the table. I have terrible HTML. Sorry. Should end the table tag there. And we'll H2. I don't know. This is fine stock. All right. And in here, then, we want to do a little form. So I'm going to come back, and I'm just going to copy paste again shamelessly. Little form. I don't like doing stuff, typing stuff again by hand. So let's do a form. Form. There we go. And the action here, we're just going to take it back to ourselves, to index.php, and we're just going to get. Right? We're not posting any data, we're not saving any data, we're just going to get some data out. So let's say, hey, stock symbol. And this will be the stock symbol. Okay, and then maybe this will be find. Okay, so we're going to send some data to ourself. So that's fun. So inside of here then, what we want to do is we want to get that data back out. So we're going to get the stock symbol. So my stock symbol is going to be, we're going to do our input, validate input. Wow. I'm already, all right. I'll just go back to the example, right? You don't have to have the stuff in the top of your head. It's okay. No one expects you to memorize anything. Filter input. There we go. Filter input. Filter input. We're going to filter input, and we want to find then, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the order. The input get. There we go. Input get. Input get. We want to find the key of, and what do we call it? It said it was stock symbol. And that was validation type, right? Come on. Filter validate. There we go. Filter validate. We want to validate that it's a string. So filter validate. Filter validate. Let me get text. No, oh, we don't do that for strings, do we? Nope, we don't even need to do that. So we can just get it out of our get. So $get key of the stock symbol. We do want to sanitize it though, right? If we're going to use it anywhere, we definitely want to do some sanitizing. But now what we can do is we can add that in as a query. What's it not happy with? Yeah, I was just trying to filter input, and it's mad at me. Filter input. Why does it matter? Filter input. Input get. Let me just do that. We don't need that last option, do we? Okay, so stock symbol. So we're going to see if we get a stock symbol back out. So the query that I want to write is either going to be if they want a particular query, great, or I want to get all of them. And so we can have two different queries we might run. So we can check. We can say if my stock symbol does not equal what? Just an empty string, then I want to change my query. So I'm going to put this up here. And what you can do, you can say where we can add something in, symbol is equal to, and then we're going to put in a little substitution here. We're going to put in a symbol. So we're saying, hey, I'm going to run a query with this where clause, right? We can come back to our PHP MyAdmin, and we can say back in our SQL test here, and run some SQL, and select star from stock where the symbol is equal to, and we might say GME, right? We're going to find information about GME. We can run that. Right, and we get the GME info. Right, so we can add this where clause. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, I'm going to give you a symbol in a minute. So this is a better form, a much better practice of using the bind value, because we're going to prepare the query and then we're going to bind a value to it. We're going to say statement bind value. And we're going to say, hey, I want to map these. I want to connect these things here. So I'm going to replace symbol with my $stock symbol. And this does it in such a way that it is protecting against you putting garbage SQL stuff in the stock symbol. Right? Remember when we did, like, we put it in a little JavaScript alert in one of these fields, and if we just take the data from the user and we put it on the screen, or in our case, we take the data from the user and we throw it into our SQL command, bad stuff can happen. Again, go take the database class, learn about SQL injection sort of things, but this helps protect against that. And that's the idea, is we want to protect against SQL injection attacks. right? Then we can execute. So otherwise, right, my query is just select star. Right? And either way, then I've got a statement. I'm ready to execute. Got a little format. Okay, I got a little bit extra space here. So we're saying, hey, if you gave me a symbol, add it. If you didn't give me a symbol, we'll just take them all here. That way I can just post back to my own page here and just keep trying to find a particular symbol. Okay, let's see what we get. So let's come back to our page. There's our stock list. Let's find GME. There we go, just got GME. If we find nothing, excuse me, if it's blank, right, we're just getting nothing there. Or if we don't have it. Whew, all right, didn't cough in your ears too much. So we don't have the parameter, right? It just gives us everything. If we do add one in here, or what if we add one we can't find? There's just none in there, right? And we can try it again. Or, oh, GME, good. AMC, good. Everything, cool. Right, so we can filter it. So each time we hit this page, it's sending that query through. And I can add in my own text here, right? So sure. So again, I like the gets for this. So this is just looking up information, and gets are good for that. The get type submits. You okay so far? Hydration, thank you. Thanks, Snake. Gotta stay hydrated. We okay? I'm just pausing for a dramatic effect. No, so I want to make sure we're in good shape here. Cool. All right. So the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to give someone access to add a stock. So we don't want to do this on the same page, right? If we're adding some information, we're inserting information to the database, we should probably be posting to that page. Right, so we're going to add a new page, a PHP page for add stock. Okay, so we need all this other stuff here, right? We still need all this connection stuff. So I'm going to copy a lot of this stuff out here. I'm going to do all this up at the top in a PHP tag. There we go. Okay, we still got to finish our try block, right? And we'll come back and grab the catch. Okay. Try and catch. Okay, so we're starting to try and connect. Now we need to get some input, right? So now this is going to be from our post here, because again, we're going to add something. So you need to post a couple of things. So we're going to have a stock symbol and a current price. Current price. Okay, and this one then should be a float. Validate. Oh my goodness. Filter validate. Thank you. Filter validate. Filter validate as a float. Okay, make sure that one's a float. So now what we're going to do with our database is we're going to try and do a different query. We're going to do an insert query. Okay, so we're going to take our query. It's going to be insert into stock. Right, and we're going to say we're going to insert, right, where you say then which columns. We're going to insert the symbol and the current price. Okay. Well, what are we going to insert? We're going to insert values of, and here we're going to do the substitution again. We'll have symbol and another substitution for current price. Current price. Okay, and that's going to be our SQL command. So we got to prepare it. So my statement is my db dot or arrow $db prepare our statement, or prepare the query. Okay, we've prepared it, and now we're going to go do the binding values thing. So statement, bind value. Okay, let's bind our symbol to the, oops, that should be colon here, sorry, colon, to stock symbol. Take our stock symbol value. Okay, and we're also going to bind our current price with the current price variable. Okay, so those are all ready to go. We bound them, and then we're going to execute the query statement. Execute. Oh, and I forgot one bad thing. I'm sorry. I'm leading you wrong here. After you execute the query and you fetch, we got to make sure we close it here. We're going to statement dot close cursor. So this, it's good format. This is closing. It closes the connection. Because what you can do, if you just fetch, it'll leave the connection open, and it'll get the next row, and you can fetch the next row and fetch the next row. So if we fetch all, we can just close it right away. We don't need to worry about that. Sorry, so that is much better form. We'll close our cursor. Okay, so this will add the data to our stocks here. Right. And then maybe we want to go back to list or something, or I don't know. Maybe we could post on the same index page. Not a big fan of that though. It's probably fine to do it separately. Let's try it. So let's build another form. Right. So grab another form here. This is now going to be a add stock. We're going to post to add stock. PHP. They'll have a symbol and then a current price. Current price. Call that current price. Okay, and this is add. Maybe the only thing we want to do is just send them back, right? Added, I don't know. H2 added stock, go back to see it. I know that sounds terrible. There's probably a better way, but that's okay for now. All right, let's give it a shot. So let's add a stock. What stock should we add? What else are you guys tracking? Should we add like Bed Bath & Beyond? BBY? Oh, that's not in. Got it here in. Could have Bed Bath & Beyond. So BBBY is our symbol. And the current price. Oh, where'd our current price go? Come on. Is it ever going to load? It might never load. That's funny. I swear my computer hears me talking. It just alerted me. 2753. Okay, we can do AMD stock next. 2753. We'll add the stock. Wait, we added? Go back and see it. So I'm just going to go back to the index page. Give it a refresh. And look at that. We got Bed Bath & Beyond. How about AMC? All right, let's check out AMC's price. Oh, you already have it. Oh, AMD. That's right, AMD. They're the microchip people, right? 9169. All right. AMD 9169. We'll add AMD. Sure, go back. Awesome. We should probably add a link for them, right? Shouldn't we add a nice little link? A ref index.php. Click me. Go back. This is terrible. I'm sorry, but it's okay. I am not saying I'm the best HTML programmer. AMD, is it zooming? No, they're down on the month, right? You think they're gonna go up soon? Interesting. All right. Now we can add other stocks if we wanted. I know Disney's a popular one. DIS for Disney, right? Oh, your computer is fast. Yeah, it's just me loading Robinhood is slow. I don't know. I don't know why it hates me. I think when I'm streaming, it slows everything else down. Hey, look at that. Yeah, Disney. Okay, so we'll add Disney at a 190 a share, and then we'll see if our link works here. So DIS at 190 a share, let's add that. And can we click our link, and it takes us back. Now, cool, now we have our list. Awesome. How you guys feeling so far? We can find one, maybe we can add one. Again, just it's better to add like on a post page, and I didn't want to have to repeat the list. We could just do the same query again with the database connection, just query everything and show them the list. But then it's getting more into that like composition of forms, and like maybe we add all these buttons everywhere, and I don't know. Not sure how convinced I am. And there are better ways to do it, right? There's we're starting off slow as we're learning, right? I know we could send commands and have stuff just happen behind the scenes and all sorts of fancy things, but we're starting off slow, right? We got to learn to walk before we run. Okay, you guys got your coffee? You're good? All right, no questions. That's good. It's good so far. So the book will take you through the guitar product example, right? And we can go through all the good stuff with their guitar listing example, which is good. It's all good stuff there. And theirs is even a little prettier. They use some CSS to make stuff prettier, but again, we're not to that point right now, and that's okay. One nice thing they do have is they use a specific error page. So we're going to add a new PHP page. That's our database error page. Database error PHP page. And we're just going to rip this right off the book because, sure, right? That's perfectly fine to rip it off the book. Oops. Copy. That's the joy of having an e-text, right? I think we can format that. Oof, didn't format it exactly like I wanted, but that's okay. Title, link, and yeah, we don't even need any CSS either. This is error page. Okay, we're getting there. Stealing this right from the book. And this is all copied from Murrock PHP book page 141. Look at that. That's my citation. If you guys want to copy that, you are welcome to do it. Right? But the idea is here it can pump out an error message if we get an error message, which is really cool. Okay, so what we do then, instead of having to do this silly error stuff all the time here, where did it go? In our catch up at the top, right? If we get an error, we're going to get the error message, and then we can call include on the database error PHP file. Okay, and then we just call exit and stop the page, stop doing stuff here, and we'll get our error. Okay, so if something goes wrong, we can do the same error page everywhere, and you can add additional information to the page. You can give them whatever else happens to be, right? Sure. Let's check it out. So let's see if we can make that work. So let's come back to our index page, refresh, refresh. If I turn off my database, I refresh, we get the database error. So all we've done is included this PHP code. None of the rest of index loads because I called exit. It just kills it. Just stop processing PHP. Don't return anything else. Just include this page and we're done. which is pretty cool. If I turn it back on, right, we get our list and we're back in business. So that's nice. So we can do that same thing in all of our other pages, right? So we can just catch in our ad stock. We do that same sort of thing. We don't have to just echo error messages out, which is going to be messy. Right here, let me show you before we did that. Sorry, let me put this back here on. Here. So before on our index page, right? If we had an error, that's fine. Let me turn off the database. And I get an error. Now that I have all this other stuff here, right, we still get all the other stuff. Right, and that's not cool because none of this is going to work, right? So that's the goal of using that exit. We get the error and then we stop processing all this other stuff here because it doesn't know what that is. Right? It didn't exist. So that's the beauty of having the error pages here. Exit. Okay, and I think that's it then. That's all worked. Okay, that all works. Good. And let me just refresh, make sure the page is okay. Okay, get a regular error, turn the database back on, we get the result that's expected. Right, so it's a really good practice. Okay? Right, should we try and update stock prices? Right, why not? So let's come back to our index page, and let's do an update stock. This is update stock price. We're going to be on the update stock page. Then we're going to post data to it. We can give it a symbol and the current price. And we're going to go update. Update. So we need an update page. So I'm actually going to take add stock and copy paste it here. Call this update stock. Because I think that's going to be faster. Okay. So now we're not inserting. Right. Now we need to do an update. So remember, with SQL, you can update stuff given a where clause. I'm just making sure I've got the right thing here. Yep, awesome. So we're going to say update stock. And what do? Well, we want to set the current price, current price equal to, and we're going to put in a substitution here for current price. But we need to do this. That's right. So we need where the symbol is equal to the symbol. Okay, so we're going to set current price equal to a current price where the symbol matches. So you tell me what symbol, and then I'll update current price to match that symbol. We prepare the query, we update stock symbol for symbol, we update current price for price, we execute our query, we close our cursor. Updated stock. Go back and see it. Okay, so again, it's just an update command. So update says, what do you want to do? Well, we're setting the price where this matches. If we just update a price without the where, we'd update everything, and that'd be bad. All right, let's see how that one works. So let's refresh. F5, there we go. So let's update GME, right? GME is down to, let's see. $48.72. Right, so let's update it to 48.72. And let's call update. Okay, go back and see it. You see our GME price is now 48.72. Right, we can update, how about Disney, right? Did Disney go up? Maybe they're 191 now. Update, and go back. Right, so we're updating data in the database. Okay. We could also delete. You can delete as well. Yeah, I think that one's easy enough to follow through on. I don't know if you need a delete here. You feeling okay? So we're going to talk about the next project here in a minute now. Right, we'll be doing this basic thing with our database. We'll build a database. We'll add the CRUD, create, read, update, delete options, and we'll see how it goes. do you guys think? Think that'll work? Let's see, we don't need that one, we don't need that one. Our PHP admin, there we go. So we had users, and we had stock orders. That's what I wanted to look at. What we did so far in our database. What was the stock order table? Stock ID, purchase price, quantity, user ID. Cool. Okay. No one's chatting in chat. Let me do a quick poll here. How's it going? You might be lost, or okay. Need to watch this again. Watch this more, or I read the book, or I'm good. Okay. Put a little poll out there. Go ahead and answer the poll for me there in Twitch chat. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we've got the recordings. I just, you know, I really do miss talking to people in person and trying to understand how people are doing. Like, just a straight recording is terrible, and I hate learning like that. Maybe it works for you guys, and that's awesome if that's your learning style. But I struggle with that, so I'm much more of an interactive person. So I'll sit here and wait when you guys chat and see how it's going. And I do miss our lab style where like we could try things, and then you could try them on your computers, and I could walk around. So yeah, it's hard to do online. Like I had to drop the class, and I'm taking a break. Although I've got other issues as well, but I taken a break from my classes because this online learning was just not working for me for the doctoral program, and that's okay, right? I won't sweat it too much. I'll be okay. All right, a couple of people are okay. A couple of people want to watch it more. That's all right. That's good to go. I think that's all right. Yeah, definitely a lot harder to focus. I get that. So hopefully having the recording so you can go back and watch it again and again if you need to is helpful. I'm hoping in the future when we do get back to in-person, I'm going to try and record anyway. I don't know if I'll keep broadcasting on Twitch. I want to, but I'm not sure how that'll work, and it's got other issues as well. But at least I can record classes and post them on, like, you know, private YouTube videos or something for anybody who wants to rewatch it. So I've heard that's very helpful. I've gotten good feedback for that, for sure. Although Twitch is fun as well, too. But if we're split, like there's people in person and there's Twitch, that can be a little bit tricky. But it's okay. All right. So let's talk about the project. So we've got this little stock database thing where you can order pieces. So I've given you the stock CRUD operation. I didn't give you delete, but that's okay. We're probably not going to delete stocks, right? We're just going to put them in and we can update the price eventually. All right, so what we're going to do for the project then, let me come up here. Project 2. Project 2, stock trading. Okay, this will be due in 2 weeks on the 25th at 1 p.m. So before class starts, I'm going to have it in so I can go over the solution in class. All right, let me add a new grade item for it in projects. And this will be worth 15 points. Right, so each project is worth a little bit more than the last. So if you don't do as well in the previous ones, don't worry. But it means we can't forget the things we've done before. Right, because we're going to use all those same tools and techniques and things and then add to them here. So submit files, just upload your PHP files is fine. I think most of you guys got that. Sorry, I didn't specify it previously. I did go and update it. I don't know if anyone saw to say, please upload your PHP files. I have to close and reopen it, sorry. I don't know, D2L doesn't like me, or maybe it doesn't like Edge. I refuse to use Chrome now. I actually uninstalled Chrome completely. I don't even have it installed. I did not get the speed gains like some people on Twitter were promising with like its buggy updater, but it's definitely working well. definitely working well. Okay, so our stock trading application. So using the example stock database we created in class, the stock CRUD pages, add additional features to allow a user to buy and sell stocks. Okay, so the sell part's a little bit tricky, but I think we'll be okay. Oh, I keep finding PHP admin. So in users, what do we have in here for users? We just had name. So maybe we're going to want to add a balance here. So let's go add balance. So let's add another field to change, right? Nope, I want a table structure. I want to add to it. Add one column. There we go, after name. This PHP MyAdmin is amazing. Like, to not have to do this junk by hand. It's so cool. So we're going to do this with numeric. Probably a decimal number is probably easiest, but you got all sorts of different options here. Floating points. I think we even had one for, because we don't want int. Miss being bored somewhere other than your house. Yeah, I feel that, Snake. I miss going out. It's like a big deal to go to the grocery store. Yeah, just use a decimal. Oh, why not? We'll pick a double. We'll pick a double. Default. Yeah, it's fine. So right now I'm going to say it's nullable because I need to go add it in here, and this is balance. That's a big deal just to drive. You know, let's add a default here. We'll say, hey, we're going to default everybody with $1,000 to play with. Okay. And then I can make it not nullable. It should be okay. Okay. So now people have a balance. Again, you can just copy off of mine when you go make these tables if you haven't gone through the example yet. We want to, I think I can just export the whole table out or something. If you have trouble building it, let me know, but you should just be able to follow through and add those columns. If you haven't yet, it's okay. Oops, errors, that's fine. So back to browse. Okay, so each person is going to have a balance. They're going to have stock orders where they can buy and sell. Right, so if they own a stock, they've bought it. If they sell it, we can go delete from here, and we'll give them the quantity times the current price. Okay, so we need to be able to, so we're going to add, so for create is add a new stock order record for a user. Okay, so we'll add a new stock order for the user, subtract from the user's balance the quantity times the purchase or the current price of the stock. Be sure to. Okay, so creating the new stock order item, right? It says what stock ID is it? What was the purchase price, which is the current price, and how many did they buy? So we need to add a page then to like buy stock. Or if you just want to do that, oh, thank you. I'm slouching again. This is project 2. Project 2. So all the demo stuff we did, you can start with as like, this is your starter code. So I'll give you all the stuff we've done for creating, updating, and reading the stocks themselves, updating prices. And then you're going to build the page to purchase them. Okay. So the queries are going to be a little bit harder, right? Because we need to do some joins or figure out which stock it is. So, because you can't just say, hey, I want to buy stock ID 1 if you don't know what stock ID 1 is, right? You want to buy a stock where a symbol is something, so we have to do a lookup, and then we have to use that in the next query. Maybe I'll show you that one. Because we can do 2 queries here. So let's do You want to do buy? I don't want to give you all a buy, but I guess we should show an example. I'm feeling bad now. So like we would insert into something, we have to get other values first. Yeah, we could make that work. Hey, let's see. I want to okay, so let me show you this. I'll show you this one. That's fine. So we're going to add a page for buy stock. Here, I'm not going to do all of it, but we'll do a lot of it here, okay? Would that be okay? You guys won't be too upset, right? Bought stock, go back and see it, something like that, sure. So we need to know the symbol that they want to buy. We don't actually need the current price, we need the quantity. This is a quantity of quantity here. So what symbol and how much? And we'll just assume they buy it at the current price. We don't need to do any of that other nonsense, okay? So connect. So we're going to insert into stock order, because our table is stock order. Right, and we need to give it, what, the stock ID, the purchase price, the quantity, and the user ID. So again, I'm not going to give all of it to you here, but you got to figure out which user you are. We're not going to do any login stuff, so if you just want everyone to be the one user one, that's probably okay. But it'd be nice to have multiple users. So we're going to insert into stock order. We're going to insert stock ID, the purchase price, the quantity, and the user ID. Okay? So to do that, right, we're not just going to give it straight values. We're going to do a little bit of different stuff here. So to figure out what it is, because we're going to have a particular symbol, right, but we need to get the stock ID off of that. So we're going to say we want to select stock.symbol. That'll be the stock ID. I'm sorry, the stock.id, and then the stock dot. Oh, sorry, this should be a string here too. Stock. That make it look happier. Oops, single quotes. There we go. Okay, now it's looking happier. So we want to take the stock ID, the stock dot current price, the quantity, and that'll be a substitution quantity, and then the user ID. So I'm just going to fix a 1 in here. You can fix that part after, or pick a different user ID. So we're going to select that now from, and now we're going to keep doing our query. We're going to say, okay, from, well, where are we going to get that data from? We're going to get it from stocks where the symbol is equal to the symbol. Okay, so I'll get the ID and the current price where we have a symbol. Okay, so I need to add symbol, I need to add quantity as the dollar quantity here. And again, it's a hard-coded user number 1. That's okay. We can come back and change that later and say which user is doing what. For now, we're just going to assume it's all one user. Okay? That's our first query, right, to buy the stock. So we're saying, hey, get the stock ID from stocks where the symbol is here. Oh, the stock, right, from stock, where symbol is the symbol. And that should insert into our stock order column. Does that part make sense? Posture check. Oh, I forgot the back brace. I was just trying to sit up. Here we go. All right, so let's see if we can buy some stock then, right? So let's come back here to our index. I don't know, we'll add another one of these to, I don't know, sure, why not? Call this buy stock. This is send it to the buy stock page. We're going to post the data, again, because we're saving it. We have symbol and quantity. Right? And this is buy. Okay, let's see if that works for us. Back here. So we have a buy stock. So let's buy some GME, right? It's got to go back up, right? We got to have hope. Maybe not. Oh, I don't want current price. Sorry, that should be quantity here. Quantity. Quantity. So how many are we going to buy? Let me refresh that. There we go. So symbol GME, quantity, let's buy 1. Hit buy. Oh dear. Unknown table stock in field list. Okay, so we got a SQL error. That's okay. Unknown table stock. Let's take a look. Insert from stock. Isn't it? I thought that's our table name. Isn't that what we did last time? Yeah, table stock. Make sure I have like enough spacing in here. Try one more time. Resend. Okay, we bought the stock. So I think it was just my spacing here. I didn't have the spacing in between these maybe. It was probably running together or somewhere in here. Maybe, oh, from the from. I didn't have a space between 1 and from. So I was getting confused there. All right, so now, again, we don't have a display page for it yet. That's okay, that's up for you guys to do. But I want to show you now, if I look at my stock orders, we should see, hey, we bought 1, quantity 1, purchase price, stock ID is 1, that was GME. Right? If I hover over it, it shows me what it is because it knows there's a link there. And user ID 1 for Eric. What we haven't done yet is taken away from my balance, right? We need to figure out what I need to change my balance. Right, so then we still need to do another query to update the balance. Wow, I am losing it in my mind right now. All right, so we've got add a stock order, subtract the balance. So it's create, read, create page that shows lists of stocks purchased. Use the symbol name, not symbol ID. And username, not user ID, when displaying the data. Right, so we're going to have to join the tables when we query them. Right, we have to join on stock ID equals stock.id and join user on user ID equals user.id to get those information out. Right, for our reading page. So this should probably be a separate page. So have like the stock list. Oh, maybe you can do it all in one. So this could be added, the index.php page if you want. It doesn't have to be separate. Update. So updating, there's not really a whole lot that we're going to be changing because we're just buying and selling. Right, so maybe we'll have yeah, read. So update / delete is going to be sell stock. Sell stock. So delete the row in stock order and add to the balance of the user the quantity times current price of the stock. Does that make sense? Right, so when we buy, we're going to subtract from the balance. When we sell, we're going to add to their balance. So like, hey, this is sell all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Right, so just sell the entire quantity. Right, otherwise we have to deal with, hey, do I want to sell 1 out of 2 and I have to sell 1 of them? That's probably more trouble than we want to do right now. Okay? So you've got create mostly done, right? But we also need to update the user's balance. Right? We're going to read, show the list of stocks purchased with the right information here, and they're going to be able to sell and update our balance. And we're also going to have a page to show, add a list of user name plus balance. A separate page or on index.php. Right? It's ugly to have them all. Why do I have there was an emoji option there. Do you see that? But now it's not there. There, right click, I get an emoji. Windows period, I can add emojis? No way. That's like built in now? Really? That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Okay, sorry. I know, Windows period, and it gave me emojis. What? How cool is that? I'm thrilled right now. Okay, I shouldn't be so excited, but that's so cool. Oh, I never did ask you. The evening time slot versus an afternoon time slot. I think generally we prefer evenings because they're more available, I think, to working students. Excuse me. So moving forward, we're going to be doing PHP, JSP classes in evening time slots instead of afternoons. The guy who used to teach this course retired, and I got to take it over as the new faculty member. And I think evenings are probably better for everybody. But again, he was teaching a bunch of classes. The 6 to 10 time slot is where we do our evening classes. Yeah, so usually it's 6 to 10 for evening classes, 1 to 5 for afternoons, and like 9 to 1s for morning classes. Yeah, it makes for a long night, but usually it's a little easier for people to make it after work versus trying to get an afternoon off or anything. Well, so you're already in the class, so you don't have any worries, I'm assuming. But moving forward for everyone else, I don't know if getting to class in the afternoon was trouble. And I'm trying to do this asynchronously for anybody who can't make it. So I'll try and keep doing a similar thing with recordings, but I always worry about that. If you try and be asynchronous and the rest of the class is not, it definitely can cause trouble, especially when it comes to the group project, where typically when we're in person, the final project's a group project, and I can require that. I think it's just cruel and unusual to require that given our quarantine learning environment. So I think I mentioned the final project can be done in groups, but I wasn't going to force you into groups. Does that ring a bell? I forget who I told what. Okay, cool. All right, we okay so far with this? So I'll add, yeah, so we can talk to each other in D2L is probably like the place that we can talk to each other if you want to know names and stuff. I can put like a discussion board or something terrible out there. I shouldn't say it's terrible. Like it's nice to have that, getting to know you discussion, to introduce yourself and everyone gets to know who's who. But yeah, I can do that later. Okay, so we're doing all the stock order stuff. You can use my examples. So let me go and add all my current stock stuff here. Excuse me. So save all. I think that was fine. And let's go find our htdocs folder. This is our database program. Oh, I should have called it like stock program, but that's fine. I'm going to put it in here. So all the code is going to be out here in GitHub. I posted that link in D2L, Project 2 Starter. You're welcome to start with all of this. Do me a favor and drop a comment at the top saying you copied it from me. Because that's how you cite your source, right? You leave a little comment in your files, say you got it from here. And we're going to just work on modifying it from there. So I can stop these things, go here, and close this. So the D2L link is out. Let me save that. This hat is itchy. Okay, so over in content, right, there's the course GitHub repository link over here. You guys can find that. And then get all that code, all the example code. Uploading stuff to D2L is not ideal for code. I'd much rather have it live in a place that's meant for code. So if you have any questions, let me know. We've got a starter code for Project 2. We've got 2 weeks to work on it. We're going to move on to new topics next week. But the idea is we want to practice, hey, can we connect to our database? So you need to make the user, right? Because I was using another user called stocks. You can use the username anything you want, the password anything you want. It doesn't matter. If you make it the same as mine, it'll work a little bit easier. We're going to move on to model view controller, form data, debugging. We're doing more interesting stuff in PHP. We hit a bunch of chapters at a high level next week, and then the week after that, arrays, functions, and objects, just more advanced stuff in PHP, and then we'll have the third PHP project that week. Okay, so we're moving along. We don't need any of this stuff for project 2. We can just do some ugly pages. This will show us how to do stuff a little bit nicer, but again, you don't need to do it unless you want to. You don't need to apply any of that. So you should have everything you need for project 2 to get moving on, and then we'll learn the new stuff. We'll get into project 3. We'll finish up PHP, and we'll move over to the Java side of things using Tomcat. Okay? And eventually we'll do a little talk on Ajax and DOM and some fancier things and frameworks. There's a lot of really cool tools out there, but we need to have the basics before we do that more interesting stuff. Okay? All right. It's been fun. You guys go practice, take the examples, try them. I'll be around to help if you guys need anything. Just reach out. Again, general questions, best in the Discord class channel, so everyone can see the question and the answer. If it's something specific to, hey, here's my snippet of code, can you tell me, like, help me figure out what's wrong with it? Send it right to me. Email or, private message me in Discord. You can text me, whatever. Okay? All right. So we talked about a bunch. We can go try it now on your side and start working on project 2. If you do want to follow along with the guitar examples, go get it from Murrock. He's got some great examples in there for you guys to follow along with in the text doing these sort of operations. Right, so definitely go read through the book, see how the book does it on their pages. That'll really help you out, okay? All right, you guys, let's see. Is there anyone else around we could go raid for fun? Let's see who else is online. Just for fun. Let's see. Oh, a ton of people are online today. Holy cow. Let's see. I'm gonna go do some. Oh, he's lecturing. We probably can't raid his channel for chemistry. We can go check out some math. We can go check out some math. See if he's around. Let's see. All right, yeah, he's in the math office hour, so we can go learn some math here. Totally optional, just the fun of Twitch. Go out and say hi. Tell him I said hello. And you guys take care. It's been fun. I'll see you later.